King in Black issue 2 finds Eddie slam hard into a car. Knocking him out, a Spider-Man rushes to his side. Peter is sorry that he couldn't get to him in more time, calling for help, but Eddie weakly tells him to promise him something. Knull is frustrated that Eddie is not dead yet, as Peter knows that there is no one to help since Knull took them all or has killed them all. His spider sense triggers, allowing him to dodge a blast from the symbiote-infected Cyclops, who's joined by many of the other symbiote-covered heroes that set upon the hero. Grabbing Eddie, Peter tries to lift him out of the way as the Human Torch arrives, blasting through one of the symbiote dragons and coming to his friend's aid. Peter tells Johnny his fire won't hurt the infected heroes the same way it hurts the symbiotes, so he needs to come with them, but Johnny says that he's glad his Nova Blast won't hurt the people trapped inside, knowing it will give Peter just enough time to get out of there. Peter refuses to let his friend go since he will be taken and turned, and Johnny knows this, hoping Peter will do him a favor and tell everyone that he said something cool and heroic before dying. The Human Torch unleashes his Nova Blast, taking out the symbiotes and allowing Peter to escape to the Fantastic Four's base, where he learns from Valkyrie that one of her gifts is being able to tell how near a person is to death, and while she can't fix Eddie up, she can see how close he is to dying, telling Spider-Man that they need to hurry. Peter tells her to do what she can, but Valkyrie cannot stay, knowing that she is needed elsewhere to collect Sentry's soul. Peter knows that he's got a job as well, hoping they both come back with some good news. Peter goes to see Dylan, who, without the hero saying one word, knows his father is dead or dying. The boy asks if his father is dead, learning that he's not, but the boy needs to come with the hero. Dylan is taken to Reed Richards' lab, where Reed says that Coulson is reaching out to enlist Squadron Supreme and Dr. Spectrum, as Valkyrie reveals that she hasn't heard anything from Thor yet. Blade demands that Eric and Xavier open up Krakoa's gates to the survivors, but Eric refuses to let the darkness onto their shores and risk his people. Blade knows that there is no longer a your people here, since this thing is coming for everyone and no one is left alive. Peter asks if there's any news on Eddie, but Reed says that there's been no change in his condition, but they are working on it and stopping the spread of symbiotes. T'Challa says that the full might of Wakanda will be there at their disposal, wondering about the Infinity Stones in Cosmic Cube or Ultimate Nullifier, asking if they could be of any use to them here. Blade doesn't like the sound of using any of those against one guy, but Valkyrie reminds him that this one guy killed Celestials and the Sentry, and has taken many of their friends as his own, so she thinks they need to take Knull, the King of the Abyss, seriously. Namor arrives, finding Valkyrie's name for Knull adorable as Reed learns that Sue invited the King, knowing that they need all the help they can get. Namor says that his people have been fighting in the dark for millions of years, and now these heroes just started and they are already losing. He knows that if this King in Black wants a war, he will have one, since he's there for his people and will fight for them, asking if any of the adults in the room have any plans. Iron Man says he has one, but it's insane, knowing that he'll need one of the symbiote dragons. Tony knows the only thing that will help Eddie Brock and keep him alive is a symbiote, so he's going to get them one. Spider-Man wonders why they need a dragon, since Dylan Cat could work since it's a symbiote, but Dylan knows the dragons are stronger and could make Eddie almost invulnerable, just like how Carnage was once invulnerable when he merged with one. Iron Man knows that this could work, but in the meantime he's got a bunch of other ideas he wants to use. Iron Man sends Namor down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, remembering him mentioning needing an army that fights in the dark, so the king is sent to see the Black Tide. But Namor tells Tony that they have been cursed by Atlantean magic, and once they awake, it will be hell to banish them back down to those depths. Tony knows they'll deal with that war when it comes to it, as in Chernobyl, Blade deals with the vampire legions, forcing an audience with Dracula to get the vampire to work with them for once. In the bar with no name, the door is kicked in by the Kingpin, who asks the loser villains hold up there if they want to make some money. As all his plans are put into motion, Iron Man takes to the skies to locate a dragon, knowing priority one is getting Eddie back in the battle, and to do that, they need Venom. Iron Man flies at one of the dragons, allowing himself to be swallowed by it. Inside the beast's mouth, Tony injects it with Extremis, planning on rewriting its DNA with the program. The dragon is overcome by Extremis, but Knull begins overloading Tony's suits, taking over the hero who can hear millions of voices and feel all of their pain. Back in the lab, Eddie is looked after by Peter, Dylan, and Reed as the symbiote-covered Tony comes back, telling the team that he doesn't know how long until Knull will overwhelm his reprogramming, so they need to work fast. The symbiote is delivered into Eddie and his vitals soon spike, which causes Reed to try and pull the alien off of him since it will kill him. Tony knows that that can't be possible since he severed the connection and Knull can't possibly be that strong. Dylan unleashes his power on the symbiote, demanding it get off of his father as he kills it with his thoughts, which makes Reed realize the boy is their secret weapon, since with his powers they can save the world. Suddenly, Eddie's vitals flatline as Peter tells Reed to stop talking since Eddie Brock has died from his wounds. King in Black issue 2 continued to build on the epic scope of the story Donny Cates has put forth with some surprising new developments and something that I think a lot of us saw coming. Between this and the first issue, I have enjoyed the frantic nature of the event, and it helps take us into the world since all of the heroes and people involved in the story have no idea what is going on as confusion and chaos is reigning over them, and they have no idea how to combat this threat that can literally take over their bodies and use their powers against them. Iron Man leading the heroes in a last-ditch effort to stop Knull was great, and it looks like it's going to be implementing stuff that Jason Aaron set up in his Avengers run, with stuff like the Squadron Supreme and the Vampire Nation, which is really fantastic since it's been some time we've gotten some stuff about those stories, so it's great to see them actually progress around here in this big event. With Eddie Brock now quote-unquote dead, I'm looking forward to an odyssey through his mind, or seeing him navigate the afterlife as implied by the Venom preview, which is put at the end of this issue to kind of reassure readers that Eddie Brock, while is dead, he's technically not dead. He's in like some weird symbiote afterlife sort of thing, so it's going to be a lot of fun seeing him explore that over in his ongoing and what will become of the Venom symbiote now. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.